All right, we are live. Hey, everybody, how are you doing today? Super excited. Divi 4.0 is now live. It's the day that we've all been waiting for a really long time. So, super excited about that. So, in this live stream, I'm going to talk about Divi 4.0, kind of what it means, what it brings us, because I know I've seen some people in the Facebook groups asking questions and things are a little bit unclear. And then I'm going to talk about what Divi 4.0 means for my products here at Divi Life. And so don't worry, none of our products are going away. They all still work, and I'll touch on that. But yeah, so this is actually the fourth day in a row that I've gone live here on Facebook and YouTube. And so it's part of a new thing I'm doing here, Divi Live Quick Tips. And so if you want to go back and watch the live videos that I did over the past couple days, you can watch them on divilife.com, on the blog. You can watch them on YouTube. You can watch them on Facebook. So super excited. Thanks, Carlos, for joining. And if you were right here watching live, go ahead and comment live in the comment. That will help me for tracking purposes. I know how many people are here, that sort of thing. And then if you're watching the replay, wherever you are, just comment replay. That, again, will help me for tracking purposes and know where everyone is coming from and that sort of thing. So if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, or you're watching on my blog on divilife.com, just comment live or replay depending on whether or not you're watching live or the replay. So yeah, again, we are going to talk about Divi 4.0. Thanks, Grant, for chiming in. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching live. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Hey, Keith. Hey, Morhad. How's it going, everybody? Didier. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Yeah, Keith mentioned plugin conflicts. Not everyone is as engaged as teams like Divi. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll touch on that. So if you're just now joining us live, we are talking about Divi 4.0, the all-new theme builder, long awaited. It's finally here, super exciting. So I'm going to talk about kind of what it means, and then we're going to talk about what it means for my products. And so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. You should be looking at my screen. And so, yeah, if you haven't already watched the intro video that Nick Roach did and just the entire blog post on elegantthemes.com, I highly recommend it. A lot of really good information there that kind of just gives you an overview of what it's about. However, I've seen people in the comments say, I don't really get it. Like, what does this mean? What is the purpose of Divi 4.0? What is the theme builder? And so I wanted to kind of run through an overview of Divi 4.0 and what these new features actually mean for you, because a lot of people have been waiting for it, and then some people just don't really understand it. And so I'm going to kind of give a quick overview, as quick as possible, and we will, if you're watching live, feel free to ask a question as we go along, and then if you're watching a replay, feel free to ask a question there as well. So this right here is kind of the old school Divi demo. I don't even know if it's linked anywhere on their site anymore. I could be wrong. It might still be linked, but it hasn't been really updated in quite a long time. And so it kind of looks very basic, very Divi out of the box. And that's okay. And so previously, Divi would allow you to essentially control everything edge to edge. So on a normal page, so this is the home page. So on a normal page, you can customize everything that is below the header, so below the main menu, all the way down to everything above the footer. And then the footer was customized and kind of brought in via WordPress, WordPress sidebar, so to speak. And then the header would be customized inside of the theme customizer within WordPress. And so Divi had some custom controls and things you could do. You can make it a centered inline. You could do certain things, turn on the secondary menu. But they were all based on predefined options that the Elegant Themes team built into the customizer for you to go ahead and change. And so you could customize colors, fonts, all that sort of thing, padding, size, but you didn't really have a lot of options. If you wanted to throw, something else up there, you didn't have that option unless you wanted to customize the PHP files, the template files, and that sort of thing, or use a third-party plugin. And so basically what Divi 4.0 brings to us is the theme builder, which gives you full header control. Let me find where it talks about headers. So custom headers and footers. Now, I'm going to show one of my child themes. This is actually one of our most popular child themes, Divi Agency. It's really great looking child theme, and I can say that because I didn't design it. My lead designer designed it. So it's a really great looking child theme, and I think a lot of reasons why customers like it is there's this really cool customized header. And when we built this, we had to build all of these areas here, and we actually did them with sidebar widget areas. That way customers can go in and using the widgets customize the content in here and stuff like that. And so it's a really cool, unique look. You got all the important information right up here in the header: phone number, hours, call to action button, social media stuff using the secondary menu, and that's all great. But in order to do something like this, again, you would have to use a PHP and add different things in there, or a third-party plugin. Until today you can now build this using Divi, using the Divi builder, using the builder that you know and love, using different column settings and adding, adjusting padding visually, putting buttons in there, customizing the buttons using the Divi builder. So you could build this right here in Divi thanks to the new theme builder. And so they have some really cool examples in here. I'm just going to open up a couple of them here to show what is possible. So this is really unique. I mean, it's simple, rather simple, but pretty unique at the same time. This one's a little more complex. Got some a main menu, a sub menu. You got a sale banner here. Pretty cool. Got the search widget. And so they're just kind of showing you some ideas of what's possible. So now the header builder, definitely the biggest thing. So you can go from this to this, which is really cool. So that's probably the most exciting thing, and it's probably the easiest to understand. Like, yeah, header, I can build the header now. I don't have to just use the theme customizer. I can use the visual builder to go in and customize everything. So that's really cool, really exciting. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these extra tabs here so I don't get lost. The second thing is templates. Now this, I know, is a little bit harder for people to understand, and it brings in dynamic content. And if you're new to WordPress, new to Divi, new to web design, the concept of page templates, post templates, product templates, and dynamic content can be a little bit tricky. I plan to do more tutorials in the future on dynamic content and these template pages and everything. But basically, again, I'm going to go back to the original Divi demo. I mentioned you could customize on a normal page everything from edge to edge, below the header and above the footer previously. Now with Divi 4.0, you can customize the header and footer using the visual builder. However, on let's say, for example, a blog page. Actually, I'm going to go to the main blog here. Okay, this is it. The main blog page, you would basically have a feed that's pulling in your blog, and then you have the sidebar. And then if you were to go and click on a blog post, you would have a boring looking blog post. Now, Divi, way back when, enabled the builder to be used on blog posts, but what that meant was if you wanted a really cool looking blog post, really unique looking blog post layout, you'd have to go in and customize each and every blog post manually every single time. And yes, you could use layouts in the library and stuff like that. But what Divi 4.0 with the theme builder allows you to do is now you can create a template, a blog template that now every time you every new post, it'll automatically use that template, so you can get really creative and do some really custom things. Now, I'm also going to bring up here the e-commerce stuff, so I'm going to go to shop. So same thing with the shop pages. So this is like default WooCommerce product page with Divi, no customizations, no styling, nothing. Very, very bland. Now, Divi released the WooCommerce modules, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, and it allowed you to create custom product pages with modules, and you can place things where you wanted, and you're able to do some really complex looking things. However, it wasn't complete until today. As Nick Roach mentioned in the video, the theme builder is the final piece of the puzzle that brings together the WooCommerce modules, the dynamic content update, and a couple other things. And so now you can do some really cool things. So for example, they show you some custom product demos. Well, if you wanted it to look like this for every single product, well, using the theme builder, you can create a custom template and then apply it to every single product page. So you have right here, you have the product name, you have the add to cart, you have the product price, you have the product description, you have the main product image, you have the gallery images, you have the additional product information, the related products here, and you're able to customize these things here, adding cool background parallax and everything. They've added the reviews here, and those are all using the WooCommerce modules update that came out, again, a month and a half ago, whenever it was. Call to action here that kind of overlaps a really cool looking footer. So that's all custom. Now, again, you don't want to have to go in and each and every product create this template and lay it out and everything. And so what you can do using the theme builder is you create a template and basically say, for every single product, I want it to look like this. Or what you can do is you can get creative and you can say, okay, for this type of category, so maybe it's a clothing store. Okay, so for shirts, I want the product pages to look like this and have this layout. Okay, but for maybe shoes, I want it to look a little bit different, kind of have a unique feel for shoes. Well, you can do that, and using the conditional logic with the different ways that you can assign the templates, you can say so many different conditions on how you want to apply it to the page, and it's super, super powerful. So, for example, here, let's see, where did it go? So this is, I installed Divi 4.0, and I'm going to go to the theme builder. So after you install Divi 4.0, you get a new submenu called Theme Builder. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and then you get this interface here. Now you have a default website template, so your header, your footer, your body, and then if you want to do any type of conditions, so okay, on this page here, these types of pages, these category pages, or a blog post, okay, I want this header, and so forth. And so I'm going to go and just show you. Let's see here. I'm still getting familiar with this myself. Oh, I don't have WooCommerce installed, so it's not going to give me the option to do product templates. But basically, what you could do is set categories. So each product category, you assign a different template, which is really cool. So then you can have some really unique looking product templates, and you don't have to build it for each and every single new product. That might not seem like a big deal if you have 5 or 10 products, but if there's stores out there, e-commerce stores that have hundreds or thousands of products, and they want to be able to make a change and have it apply globally to everything. And then now using Divi 4.0, you can do that with the theme builder. You can make site-wide posts and product templates, which is huge. But the blog post and the e-commerce product pages, that's just one example of where templates come into play. Say, for example, let's go into like archive pages. So I'm clicking on the category here. This is the outdoors category page for e-commerce products, WooCommerce products, right? Well, this is very bland. But what you can do using the theme builder is you can make a really cool custom layout for all your different WooCommerce category pages. And you could kind of do that before, just creating a page and then using the WooCommerce shop module to bring in categories or bring in products from a specific category. But now you can do it more natively using the built-in WooCommerce category pages where they add the product category. This is more dynamic. So I hope that makes sense. I know it can be a little bit tricky understanding page templates and dynamic content and all that, and I plan to do a full live video on dynamic content and kind of explaining it and showing the power behind it, because I know it's one of those things that is really tricky if you're not used to it and you haven't kind of become familiar with how it works. So Glenn just asked, any idea if it'll work with ACF to allow extra custom info? That's a great question, and I know if it doesn't now, then they'll definitely fix that. I saw a couple people's comments in Facebook groups, saying different things that didn't work, and someone said custom fields didn't work in one situation. I don't know if it was advanced custom fields or just basic custom fields, but I imagine that will be possible because actually I use, if you go to DiviLife.com, my product pages, I use advanced custom fields with I'm using an injector plugin. I'm not using WooCommerce. I'm using Easy Digital Downloads. But in order to get the right info I want on the page, and in order for me to create the custom layout that I wanted, I use advanced custom fields. And so my internet's slow because I'm doing the broadcast here. And so, yeah, basically I'm using advanced custom fields to do that, to pull in some of this data here. So I know if it doesn't work now, then they'll definitely fix that bug. So you can create some really cool custom custom layouts using advanced custom fields and the new templates. So yeah, I hope that answers some questions on kind of what the theme builder introduces and what it allows you to do. The two biggest things are the header and footer builder, and then the templates. Now, I spent time talking about like blog post templates and product page templates. Those are probably the most what people are going to use them for most. However, archive pages, like tags, so like archives would be an example here for the blog. Every post type in WordPress has like categories and archive pages for the post type. And so, again, really bland archive page here. And so you can create really cool custom archive page templates using the new Divi theme builder. So Glenn just said it's a huge deal to allow a bunch of extra. I use an injector as well, Woo Layout Injector, to do it. Would be amazing to be able to replace that. Yeah, I agree, and I think it definitely will. This is 4.0, so we're going to see a series of updates, fixing bugs, adding things, adding enhancements, and so it'll be cool to see in the coming weeks even how quickly they kind of tweak things and stuff. It'll be pretty cool. So yeah, I think you'll definitely be able to do that. Okay, so yeah, so those are the main things that we talked about. 404 pages are another thing. So we all love the classic, boring, very bland Divi 404 page, no results found. And there's plugins and ways to do custom 404 pages, but now you can do it natively in Divi, and so they actually have some. Where'd it go? Custom 404 pages here. This is a long blog post. Let's see here. Here we go. So now instead of the super bland 404 template, you can have something that looks more like this, something really unique and on brand and doesn't look like something that was just generated by a theme. And in that blog post, they also showed examples of the different archive pages. Where'd it go here? Oh, there's the custom 404 pages, custom category pages. Yeah, if you've probably already looked at these. But yeah, so this is way better looking than what you get in default Divi. The category pages, like, absolutely beautiful. And again, you design that layout once, and in most cases, you're going to want it to be the same. You want consistency. You can make slight changes for the different categories, for the different archive pages, stuff like that. So yeah, very cool. The examples they built are awesome, and I know they're going to release those for everyone to use and be able to customize. Pretty slick. Yeah, because right now, I kind of wish they would have launched with some custom headers, because just, for a couple minutes before jumping on here and going live, I was playing around here designing a new global header, and it's a little bit tricky to kind of get used to it. And so, and I think either I was having some CSS conflicts or something, but everything wasn't quite working right. And so I know they're going to launch some header layouts and template packs and stuff in the coming days, but I kind of wish they would have given a few at least basic header layouts as starting points for people to play around with on day one. But yeah, we'll see that. So once you go to Theme Builder, the first thing you're going to do if you want is add a global header and a global footer. A global body is basically your global layout, unless you have a Divi page that's going to kind of override it. So yeah, I'm still kind of wrapping my head around that one. So yeah, so that is everything that's kind of included. The Divi template packs are really cool. They're going to be launching those they mentioned in the next 6 days. So this is one that's recreating the newly redesigned elegantthemes.com website. And so they're going to give you the header, the 404, the product page, the call to action footer, everything there that you see. And then they have another one showing, and I imagine they have a lot of these that are built out and ready to go for the next week or so. So yeah, these are really cool and robust. Okay, I didn't realize they showed all of them. So that was the first thing I want to talk about is just Divi 4.0 kind of showcasing what's included. I know some people can't fully wrap their heads around it because it is a little bit different to think of it as a theme builder, not just a page builder. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about is what Divi 4.0 means for Divi Life and Divi Life products. And so one thing that I am proud to say our team has been testing the last couple hours is so far so good. Divi 4.0 and our plugins, no major issues that we found. And so everything runs smoothly. So as soon as Divi 4.0 dropped, I got on Slack, messaged my support team, Carlos can attest to this, and said, all right, guys, let's start testing. We need to test this, this, and this. We need to get everything going so we can make sure that our plugins are working. And so yeah, we can say Divi Overlays, Divi Bars, and Divi Mega Pro all work with Divi 4.0. Again, we're still testing. That's just our initial tests. And we will be continuing to test. And then obviously if people have issues with our products in Divi 4.0 and they report those, we'll get fixing them. So that's one thing that's really good is no major issues with Divi Life products and Divi 4.0. And so one thing that's really exciting is this opens up a lot of new opportunities for our products. And so, for example, with child themes, we already have plans, and we've been planning on it for a while since we knew the theme builder and the new header builder was coming. But we're going to basically rebuild at least parts of all of our child themes so that they can take advantage of the new features of Divi 4.0. So I mentioned the Divi Agency child theme that has this really unique header that now can be built with Divi using the new Divi 4.0 theme builder. And so what we're going to do is it's going to take some time, but rebuild all of the headers, all of the footers, and then the archive category pages, stuff like that, and create custom templates and basically create our own template packs as part of the child themes. And so that you can go in and you're not stuck with this header layout, you can go in and easily customize it just like you would in Divi with the normal pages. And so I'm super excited about that, to really be able to take advantage of the new stuff that's coming out with Divi. And I think someone asked if we're going to continue to sell child themes or if we're only going to sell template packs, because in this blog post, Nick Roach mentions that template packs will basically replace the need for child themes. I can't remember where he said it. And so I still think there's an advantage to child themes because there's still times where you need to add custom functionality, and having a child theme already in place is going to be really cool. But I think what we probably will do in the future is offer basically two forms of our child themes. The child theme form with one-click install, and then also as a template pack. So if you just want to, kind of install things in pieces, you have that ability. One thing that I want to advantage again with child themes, premium child themes opposed to template packs, in addition to having the functions file right there to add custom functions, is using the installer that we have. You can install the entire product in one click, where the template pack is going to take importing the separate pieces in order to get everything right, and then you have to basically assign things and all of that, where a child theme gives you one-click demo install and everything is in place all ready to go, which is cool. So Alon Verlaine just asked, sorry, a bit late to the party, is 4.0 able to do everything that did, or would I still need the plugin? So referring to the Mighty Header and Menu Maker plugin from bSuperfly. So that is not our product. That's from bSuperfly.com. And I am not super familiar with the product. However, I would imagine that Divi 4.0 will replace the need for using really any custom header plugin. There was quite a few third-party custom Divi plugins out there that would allow you to create custom headers. And so my understanding is Divi 4.0 will replace the need for those. They might have a couple unique features that give you some additional abilities, but my understanding is you won't need to use those moving forward. Again, don't quote me on that because I'm not fully up to speed on all of those third-party products that allow you to customize the header. But that is basically the goal, is that you can customize the header without using a third-party plugin. And on that note, Divi 4.0 actually makes quite a few third-party Divi plugins obsolete or mostly obsolete. There's a lot of plugins that would give you options to customize different things in the header, and different things. So one thing I am happy to say is none of our products are obsolete. They all, work really well with Divi 4.0 and add additional value. And so we'll see in the coming weeks third-party developers adding additional things to their products and making them 4.0 compatible. So I guess all that to say, be patient. Third-party developers are small companies, and it can take time. Elegant Themes does not give us third-party companies access to major releases or any releases ahead of time. And so, again, I mentioned before, my team, as soon as Divi 4.0 dropped, I had my team downloading it and testing it with our products and everything. So we got it the same time as all of you guys did. And so we weren't able to test ahead of time. Fortunately for us, all of our products still work perfectly with Divi 4.0, at least with our initial testing. It doesn't make any of our products obsolete, but I know that might not be the case for other product creators out there. So be patient. It'll take some time for people, for companies to make changes and fix things up. Yeah, so we're talking about child themes, and is there still a need for them because Elegant Themes added the template pack functionality, and so Glenn just mentioned a really good point. Child themes store quite a bit. I'd like to still think they would still function for advanced stuff, extra CSS, etc. Yeah, absolutely. Divi is becoming more and more powerful, and more things can be done directly in the builder. They're adding more and more controls. Things that used to take custom CSS can now be done directly in Divi, and so we're going to see that continue to be the case. I saw Nick Roach mention in a comment in one of the Divi Facebook groups that, because someone said, oh, the new headers you can't make fixed. There's no option for that. And he said in the coming weeks, they're releasing an update that will allow you to make any module, section, or row fixed. And so again, that's just an example of things that used to take custom CSS are adding those controls directly in Divi. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Glenn mentioned Woo layout injector, custom post type layout injector could go obsolete. Very interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, that is true. Now, hats off to developers that created those injector plugins and those different things, because for a very long time, they filled a gap in functionality that wasn't built in Divi, and for several years allowed people to do really cool things that weren't possible. Sort of the bummer of my company, Divi Life, and then other third-party product creators is we're at the mercy of Elegant Themes, Divi. They could add features in that make certain products or certain features of certain products obsolete, and that's unfortunately just the world that we live in and the business that we operate in. And so, yeah, that's kind of the risk we run. It's kind of like developers that create apps for the iPhone or for Android. Well, it's happened lots of times where Apple has added features to the main iOS that has made people's premium apps that did really well completely obsolete. And so that's just kind of the world we live in when we create products for an existing platform. But yeah, I mean, I think it's been pretty cool to see the third-party community come together and create products that filled those gaps until Elegant Themes was able to create it in core. And so yeah. So yeah, hope that answers some questions here. We've been getting some good conversation here in the live chat. Been trying to keep an eye on this and answer as many questions as possible. But yeah, I think it'll be really cool to see what new options Divi adds to the theme builder to make it more powerful, to make creating headers more a lot easier. They're going to come out with templates and stuff, but I think there's some things they can do to make it a smoother process, just from my initial thoughts poking around today. And then also it's going to be really cool to see third-party product creators, what they do with these new options, creating template packs and stuff like that. I know I'm really excited about it. As I mentioned already, we're going to go through and rebuild parts of our child themes so that the headers and footers are now built with the Divi Builder and can be customized with the Divi Theme Builder, and create custom 404 pages, all of that, and basically make theme template packs as part of our child themes, and hopefully give people an option. They can install it as a child theme, or they can install it as a template pack. But I agree with what Glenn was saying. There's still going to be a need for child themes with extra CSS or extra functionality that you need kind of in that functions.php file. So I don't think child themes are going to be completely obsolete anytime soon, but the template packs are really promising. So very exciting. So that is it for this live stream. I hopefully will be doing some additional tutorials in the coming weeks. This is the fourth day in a row I've gone live, and so it's something I wanted to try out and see, and so far gotten really, really good feedback from everyone. So if you're enjoying it, let me know, and that way I'll keep doing it. If you have suggestions on things you'd like me to cover, I'm more than happy to do that as well. On the list is dynamic content, and then especially now that 4.0 and the theme builder is out, kind of how it fits into that, and actually showing a tutorial and giving some really good examples of that. And then I have a long list of different things. So Nick just asked, has the update affected your site speed? That's a really good question. I have not updated Divi 4.0 on any live sites yet. I typically don't do that until there's been a few hotfix releases. And actually, if you watch yesterday's live stream, I talked about steps that I recommend taking before updating to Divi 4.0. Don't just go and hit update. You want to do a backup. You want to test on a staging site, if it's a live site at least. So always make sure you do that. So yeah, I don't know. I know Elegant Themes has been very intent on making sure that new features and functionalities doesn't affect performance. They've been really, really diligent with that. So I know I'm confident that it's not going to add any type of lag to load times or anything like that, because the core functionality is going to be right here in the back end. What happens on the front end isn't affected by Divi 4.0, because this is basically happening on the server side of things, and then when it's sending the page to the browser, it's already compiled. And so, new headers and templates and stuff like that isn't the stuff that affects the front end of the website. So, yeah. Oh, no problem, SJ. Thanks so much. I'm glad you liked the live stream. So, yeah, tune in. Definitely we'll be doing more of these. I don't know if I can commit to every day. I'll definitely be doing a live stream tomorrow, and then we'll kind of see how it goes, and it might kind of scale back to doing, twice a week of the live stream tutorials. But yeah, if you haven't already, go to the elegantthemes.com Divi documentation. Honestly, the best way to do it is just go to Google and type in Divi theme documentation, usually quicker than navigating the site. And then here you can type in Divi theme builder, and then you can find the Divi theme builder documentation that will walk you through. It's very in-depth, and so kind of shows you how to get through the functionality. It looks pretty thorough, so I imagine in the coming weeks they're going to be adding more tutorials to the blog post on how to do specific things, but this is kind of, the mechanics of it, how to actually use it. Here's, the official documentation. That's awesome, Nick. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked the live stream. I appreciate the feedback there. Yeah, Glenn said they may do some optimization updates, a few minor versions in as well. They're adding a lot, and it's actually the back-end speed that really bugs me. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, back-end speed is important too, especially when you're spending a lot of time in that visual builder. You want things to load fast, so definitely. All right, everyone, I'm going to go ahead and sign off now. Again, thanks so much for watching live for those of you that tuned in live. And if you're watching the replay, thank you again. Leave me some feedback or some suggestions, and I will see you on the next live stream. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.